What is up, everybody? It's Lisa from daynaaugustnails. Welcome back to the channel. So we're doing a set on Mia, and if you guys have been here, and even if you're new, this is Mia. She is one of my bestest of friends, and these are her hands, and we're doing her birthday nails. So we're gonna do a bit of a full prep on Mia, just in case I got some new subscribers. Y'all, here is what I do if you wanna learn how to do some nails prep wise. So as you can see, I pushed back the skin, loosened up some of that dead skin, and now I'm flipping over the cuticle pusher and just trying to scrape away as much of that as I possibly can. And Mia made me clip her free edges. Oh my gosh, I was like, are you sure? She was like, I'm sure. I cried inside. I died inside. I'm going in with my 150 grit sanding band to just remove the shine off the surface of the nails, just really get it ready to adhere to the product. And these are some cone bits that I got from Shein. And let me just tell you, this fine grit was making me work too hard. Okay, it's been decided because I got extra fine and fine. It looks like medium are the only useful ones that I got. So you live and you learn. If you hopefully I've already presented them to you in a haul, and or not, hopefully I did, but just whenever you see these things pop up, these cone bits, just know that the medium was the only one worth getting. Okay, and I'm going in with my trusty flame bit to pick up the slack. Okay, I went forward and I went in reverse. And when I tell you the power of a prep process is very important, because look at that. Had I just left it to the comb bit, y'all, the nails would have been falling off by the time she said her wish on her birthday. Do you know what I mean? So anyways, moving on from that, I round off the free edge. Again, still dying inside that I had to get rid of all that beautiful length. This is Mia's file, by the way. I use her file or anyone's file a total of 2 times before I throw it out. Did you see the little cuticle nipper cover thingies? Again, referenced in my haul. They were on Shein. So stinking cute. Even the nippers are from Shein. They are super sharp, you guys, and feel really good quality and real weighted metal. Oh, let me tell you. Shein to the world. This paintbrush is not from Shein, but you do see me cleansing the nail right after prep, and now I'm sizing the tips. These tips are also not from Shein. They are from one of my bestest friends, Nail Tips by Jen. Jennifer, hey girl, hey, I see you. Anyways, I'm sizing off the nails, okay? And I like to pinch them in a little bit just to create a bit of a C curve. This helps with the shape of the nail, number one. Number two, it actually does help for me to not end up with those wings that stick up, you know, once you've adhered the tip to the nail. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so this is the Kiss Extreme Glue that I love, swear by it. But look at how this is gonna just lay. Look at that. Ugh. Now, when I am adhering the tips to the nail, I do not blend the wings into the surface of the nail until after I've gotten the shape of the tip that I want. Like, we're going to be going for coffin, and until I get the coffin, I'm not going to go in with my sanding band to blend that nail tip to the nail surface itself. So I'm clipping down to the length that Mia says she wants. She says, you want to go a little long? I said, okay, girl. Does anybody still have that tool, this one, that curves so you can clip the tip? Because I do, and I'm about to use what I bought, okay? But yeah, I still have it. So, okay, like I'm saying, we're going for coffin, but I have not blended in that area where the tip meets the surface of the nail. I've left that way because as I'm really filing vigorously to get that coffin shape, if I had went and filed over and blended that, that would have snapped because that area would have been so weak. So I'm trying to get my shape first and then I can blend later. And I file from both perspectives, but when it comes to really contouring that shape as well as touching up the free edge, I do that from the client's perspective, never from mine, because I don't want to overfile from mine, and then when I flip over, I realize I filed too much and there's not enough room to repair it, and then I gotta apply another tip. So I do most of the filing from the client's perspective. And once I got my shape, then I go in with my 150 grit sanding band, and then I blend in that area where the glue meets the nail meets the tip. Do you see what I'm saying? Because now nothing snapped off. You can see it's all still there. Just a little tip, because I've seen people do the reverse, and I've done the reverse and it's not worked. Now, these little UV gloves, also from Shein, and let me just tell you the battle to get them on after we had gotten them tips to be nice and crisp. It was a struggle, y'all. It really was. But we did. Now, in this Mia Secret dehydrator bottle is actually You'Nails Swipe, and I've been using it for a minute, and it does work just like the dehydrator. And I'm using You'Nails Protein Bond, okay? Swipe and Protein Bond are now my diehard favorites to help adhere the nail or adhere the product to the nail. Like, I love it. Now, I'm using Beetle's polygels, but somehow I don't have Beetle's base coat, so I'm using Burano. Now, I love Nail Slate by Val, okay? She is the GOAT when it comes to like recommendations. She been and told me to get a bottle of Beetle's base coat, Lisa. Gosh. So I'm using Beetle's 91 and 92. And I can't remember. I think these were actually gifted to me by Nail Slate by Val. I'm mixing these two colors to get me like a really good ivory. Actually, I think this tone might be just a little bit more yellow than ivory. Yeah, so I'm going to do full cover this product on the nails. Now, Young Nails base coat is only good for what I'm doing right now. Prepping the brush and using it as slip solution for the polygel. If you want to fight me about it, that's on you. But that's what I said, because it's not good for anything else. Now, I plopped a bead of the product onto the center of the nail. I went up pushing the product all the way to center cuticle, then off to the left side wall, then off to the left free edge, then back to center, right cuticle, right side wall, all the way down to the free edge. And I'm all the while just keeping my product to the center of the nail. Now, because I did use a little mixing motion to mix this color, I actually whipped in a little bit of air into the product, which did make it a little bit more watery, or the consistency was a little looser than you would get from Beetle's polygel. Then you got to factor in how hot it was in my room and how, you know, the heat radiating from Mia, because she is hot to trot. You know what I mean? You know what? You figure it out. Now, I'm playing around on my napkin. I'm trying to figure out how to get this teal color. Is it blue on green or is it green on blue? That's what I'm doing here. But you can see Mia's nails are already filed, off camera, snatched, crisp. So we know that ink is what I'll be working with. You saw me playing around, and ink responds best on a matte top coat. So I'm using Hermoso's matte top coat. Now, y'all, this is some marker that I'm using right now. Remember when it was the whole Sharpie nail art thing? We need to bring that back. Here's what I'm recreating. This is Mia's birthday dress. We thrifted this together. You guys, I have a new YouTube channel. If I don't have it by the time I'm telling you this, I will be having a new YouTube channel where me and Mia or myself, we just thrift and we just live our lives and we do some things. Okay, it's getting to know more about Lisa. If you're interested, I have a new YouTube channel. Yeah. So anyways, I went in with that pink, some Young Nails Swipe, which is excellent for this diffusing of the inks. And then these are some Model Ones ink that I got all the way back in 2019, y'all. If you know, you know. You wouldn't have known because I was not doing YouTube back at that time. But anyways, I decided to go green on blue to try to get this. It's supposed to be aquamarine. It ended up being a little bit teal. I don't care. So we're really using this brush that I've always used for this. This is the Beauty Galleria's brush. It's a bit frayed, which is why I like it. And then I'm going in with the Model One's black ink, which was not as black as I wanted it to be. I still laid it down as a bit of a base. And then now I'm going in with Madame Glam's Perfect Black. And what I'm doing is I'm using the frayed brush to kind of mess it up, get it all over the place, but also have some concentrated spots where it's extra black. Then I'm going to use my finger to diffuse a little bit of it, so it does create sort of a marbling effect as well. And you guys don't know this, but I do use my finger in a lot of, well, not a lot. I only started doing it when it comes to backdrops for detailed art. That's why you got to really be careful about fuzzes and bags and stuff, you know, because you see what I'm doing with my fingers? Now, y'all, I'm being brave. I'm being so brave. I'm using my Beauty Galleria brush. And I'm drawing with Madame Glam's Perfect Black. Okay, I'm drawing some numbers over this ink artwork, but I've not separated it from the art that I'm drawing currently. There's no base coat, there's no matte top coat, there's not even a top coat protecting the beautiful blend of inks that we just created. What is she doing? She's insane. Get her away from this girl and her nails. No, I'm just literally painting on this number. And if it goes wrong, I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't wipe it off. I can't use alcohol wipes or anything or swipe nothing because I'm going to ruin the ink that we just worked so hard to create. So I really have to get this right. And let me just tell you, the planets aligned. Will they ever align for me in this way? Absolutely freaking not. Okay, that's how you can tell the difference between when they do align and when they don't. The fact that they don't ever align for me in this way is how I was able to know that, yeah, the planets then figured it out for your girl just for today. One day only, Lisa. And so I cashed it in to do nails. Should I have cashed it in for when I'm just doing like a scratch and win lottery ticket? You know, should I have cashed in my planet alignment moment for that? Sure, but no, I cashed it in for some nails. My priorities are so jacked up. But look, I got this all on the first take. This 9 was perfect. I did a 2 before then. The only time I think I ever had to really clean up a bit of a mess was when I was doing the 7s. And the reason for that is because if you look at a 7, it's mostly line work. And I hate lines. Curves are easier to manage, to manipulate. Lines suck. And if you're a nail artist, you know, with a couple of years, like you hold a license, or you're just a nail enthusiast, or you just like to watch nail videos, let me just tell you, line work ain't no freaking joke. Okay? Here goes the infamous 7, the legendary impossible 7 that I was just gossiping about. It caused me so much grief. So much grief. But in the end, we did figure it out. Yes, we did. And I did have to clean up, and you will see well, let me just explain to you what I did. Since I'm already talking so dang much, might as well just keep going. I was using my polygel brush, which is already lined up through and through with that Young Nails manicure base coat, right? So instead of using swipe alcohol, which would have diffused the ink, because it was just gel, I was able to lift up the black gel off of the nail, clean it away with the base coat, and it didn't smear the ink, which also told me that maybe if I had put a protective top coat on there, it might not have smeared as well. I've had it happen before, and I did not want to chance it. So anyways, you'll actually see me do that in a little bit once I finished filling out this 7. I will say this about the numbers. When I was drawing them initially, I was a bit of a panic because I was like, okay, gosh, this is not looking great. But when you start to fill them in, that's when they really start to look like what they're supposed to. And then you can really see if you have to repair anything or if you just continue on. Like that 2 was the first number I drew. And it just came off one shot. And halfway through it, I was like, gosh, this is looking bad. Oh, wait, this is looking great. Oh, wait, fill it in. It looks great. Okay, and then we were done. Do you know what I mean? Now, I did apply the Madam Glam Perfect Black a little thicker. You know, I think the equivalent of 2 coats is how thick I applied it. Ooh, there I am cleaning with the polygel brush. You see? It's just gel, clear gel lifting up a darker colored gel. It was very forgiving, believe it or not. So I did about 2 coats, or the thickness of 2 coats. So I cured for 2 minutes just to be safe, because I also did not want the black gel polish to bleed. I love how you can just paint with Madam Glam gels, you guys. Okay, let's just not moment of silence because it's me and I'm talking, but I'm using some very inexpensive brushes. Okay, Beauty Galleria brushes. You get them from AliExpress, you can get them from Amazon, you can get them from a friend, you can get them from someone that you want a competition with. True story. Or want a giveaway with. No, true story. That's how I got these brushes. And then you can also buy the top of the line brushes or whatever, because do I believe sometimes the products actually do make the man or woman or, you know, individual? Abso-freaking-lutely yes. But also at the same time, man, you will be surprised by how some of these inexpensive brands or avenues in which we can use to get our products will surprise you. Like some gels are top bomb, and like it's like AliExpress gels, and it's like, what color is that Lisa using? AliExpress. Now, after my rant, we go back to the fact that I'm mimicking this freaking gel, this dress, all the way down to the very tacky tone of gold that's used to make the halter part of this dress. So I had some chain. This was totally just a concept in my head, and I pulled out my draw literally while Mia was sitting there with her numbers already painted on. I was like, I have the gold chain. So I'm prepping it by dipping it in IBD base gel. I've seen them do this in Korean nail art, but they normally do this they dip it in this thing called crazy top coat that I don't have available here. And then I apply some gem gel. Now, guess who didn't record the footage of her actually applying the chain? This girl, me right here. I've always been doing foolishness from my channel was established. So don't be surprised. We're going to fast forward all the way to me already applying the chain and top coating. And here is a video and picture of the finished look. So old subscribers was really good. New subscribers, hey. And those of you that are still thinking on it, take your time, man. But, you know, when you're ready, please like, subscribe, comment, share, all the things. I love you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Happy birthday, Mia. Love you guys. Bye.